Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about some possible legendary combinations after the release of the tier sets. So I thought the tier sets were quite good for Feral, but only if you play Night Fae. It doesn't seem to have particularly good synergy with any of the other covenants, except maybe Kyrian, because I have been playing Kyrian a little bit, and although your pistol meters don't look too great, having a haste buff during Berserk is actually quite good if you buff a Fire Mage, and you will have that lining up roughly every 2 minutes if you play Kyrian and you're simping a mage. So there are a lot of things in the air about how these set bonuses interact. I think as soon as I saw this released, I thought, yeah, okay, Frenzy Band seems like play because it reduces Berserk and they get a reliable 2 minute Berserk. Well, actually, the goal I think is to get a 1 minute 50 Berserk. So you can cast Tiger's Fury somewhat in the middle of the Berserk. So you can always be casting during Berserk, and then you convoke almost immediately after you dump your Tiger's Fury energy. So what I did was I did a quick fid. What I did was I removed all my gear. Let me see if I can pull this up. So, this is the wrong video. So what I did was I changed my gear. I got rid of the 3 minute CD. I'm just going to zoom to the front. This is just me hitting a dummy. So there's no lust here. And at about 1 minute 50. Well, basically the time we're looking at is the Tiger's Fury timer. So what have we cast at that point? And I think I stopped casting a couple of seconds before that. So you're really just interested in casts to see how much the set bonus is worth. So 16 bytes, 24 convoke. So including convoke, so 8 bytes from that. I think that's pretty representative. Something I noticed as well with 1 minute convoke is that your rip, you only need to cast it once for the entire fight, because if you actually have 2 minute berserk, you can basically carry rip through the entire fight without recasting it if you're accurate. And then you get about 8 or 9 rate casts. I think you get about 16 brutal slash and 16 brutal slash, 16 shred. Maybe you might get like 4 to 8 extra shreds. So I got 17 shreds here. I only got, because I'm at the dummies in Night Fae area, it casts Moonfire a lot, but I think you would get more than 4 shreds with 2 convokes. It's a little bit more extra there. You get at least 1 Fell Frenzy every 2 minutes. Sunfire we're going to ignore. Brutal Slash 16 hits, which makes sense. And then Thrash, I think, was similar to Rake, so it should be about 8. Yeah. Rake 8 casts. So we go back here, we plug that into the calculator. So I guess some of the questions are, does Convoke interact with the cooldown reduction on Berserk? So put that in red. If it does, you're looking to maybe, well, the worst you could get is probably 2 bytes times 2, which is 4. So looking at 4 to 10 bytes, you're probably not going to get 10 bytes. So 6, 7, 8-ish, probably about right. So let's say you go with 6, you get 15 seconds of cooldown reduction if it works. Then natural bytes, you get 40-second reduction. This rip in the next cycle will become a byte. I'm sure we can skip the 25 energy. But you're basically getting 17 finishes naturally. So it's about 42 seconds. This is just Frenzy Band here. We already know the interaction with Frenzy Band and that it works with Convoke. So with just Frenzy Band, you're looking at 16.5 seconds. So if Convoke doesn't interact with the 2 set, you get reduction of 59 seconds, which is 2 minute Convoke. If it does, then you're going to get a reduction of about 75 seconds, which is good because then you have about 5 seconds leeway to set up everything. And I'll show you what I do with that reduced duration in a second vid, which I'm going to open up in a second. And I think this is actually another 0.3. which I missed. The other thing is if Convoke does work with Bite, you can already get adds up to 57 seconds, 57.5 seconds. So you can already get a 2-minute Berserk without equipping Frenzy Band. So you may actually just look at a different legendary altogether. But I think the extra reduction will be handy to keep it consistent. And Frenzy Band, I don't think will be a terrible legendary after this. So I think normally Frenzy Band sims for about 6%. That's the damage from Berserk. Generators doing more damage during Berserk. I think you'll probably get another 50% value from that because it now lines up with every Convoke. I think the sim might wait for it at the moment. It might hold Convoke, but I'd have to check. So I think 2 to 3%. You also get more bites because you're casting Berserk more often. So I think you get a little bit of a bump from that. And then you're not casting any more rips because you can reliably get a 1 rip per fight if you're doing it well. So I think maybe 5 to 6%. This is actually quite a good 2-set bonus, I think. Now the question is, what is 700% attack power over 10 seconds? So according to Wowhead, first bite is 98% attack power, but you double that because that's cast at 25 energy. So I think at 50 energy, it's about 200% AP. Then you add 30% because usually you have blood talons, but then you have armor, so you basically negate that. So I think it's about 3.5 bites. And if you're casting about 22 bites every 2 minutes, then you're looking at about 16% extra bites. If your bites are about 45% of your damage, then you're looking at about 7% extra damage. This is probably going to be ballpark. I think anywhere from 10 to 14% damage for this too is believable. So I think this is quite nice. Another thing as well is most people don't play Frenzy Band in M+, but I've definitely done quite a few dungeons with Frenzy Band. And when you Berserk, your swipe does so much more damage, so it's actually pretty useful. But the issue is that it's a 3-minute cooldown, and you usually use it on single target. You use it to you use Berserk with another legendary, and then you just mow down whatever has high HP with slamming bites into it. So it could be handy. I think the 4-set is actually very useful in that it does help give you some burst AoE because you're equivalent, basically giving 3.5 bites to all the mobs around you. So I think this definitely is looking quite good. I think feral damage at the moment without I think I was doing 9k in that video. Pretty good without Lust and without raid buffs. So I'm just going to open this other video. So normally, okay, so if we get something like a 1 minute 45, 1 minute 50 Berserk, basically your Berserk is going to be off CD. Your Convoke's going to be on CD. So you're going to approach here. You basically ramp to 5 combo points. Tiger's Fury is going to have about 10 seconds left. This is actually what I do in raid right now for my 2nd and 3rd Berserk. Is you got the dots all lined up, and then you hit about 10 seconds. You're pulling to max energy. You hit Berserk. You slam the first bite, and then basically you're doing 4 to 5 CP bites. And what you can actually do is you can manipulate. So just here, in that first 10 seconds, I've got, I think it's 4 bites. I could be wrong. Let me just go back. Yeah, Berserk. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bites. And then you get Tiger's Fury, you get another bite, you get another bite here. And then I'm using Brutal Slash here to proc Blood Talons. So I got 6 natural bites. Converting here. 7 natural bites. 8 natural bites. So that's pretty good. That's how I would manage it. and that's how I currently manage it. But that's how I'd manage it with the new set bonus. You're really trying to get as many bites as possible, and always trying to have energy in your berserk window. Obviously, during lust, you can. I think the sim tells you to convert pretty much immediately after berserking, after you dump your combo points. I think that's definitely correct if you have bloodlust. But if you don't have bloodlust, really you're getting a higher quantity of bites rather than 20% extra bite damage. So there's that. So I think we play around that a little bit, and yeah, it's looking pretty good for Feral. Obviously, some classes might just do way more damage, regardless of set bonus. I think still quite a strong single target pick. There does seem to be a couple of mechanics that will favor ranged though, and fire mage is also looking quite good, or mage in general. So we'll see how it goes. That's it for now.